We're live. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. This is Loserly's Wrestling. This is the Weekly Wrestle. Welcome to the show. We're all having fun. We're all having fun doing this together. It's only me today on Sleeveless Saturdays. Can you believe it? Show us your arms, not your. I used to say guns. I'm going to take that away. We don't want to see those, but we want to see your arms. We love those arms. Thank you all so much. Sound off in the chat. Call the hotline. Do any of those things. It's just me and Tam today. Just me and Tam. Both wearing sleeveless shirts. You better get in here. You better get in. Thank you all so much for joining us. Here's something for everyone. The Weekly Wrestle 29. We have a lot to talk about today. Roy is on leave. Roy is injured, and he is no longer on the Forbidden Door card. I'm just joking. He's doing something else. I'm not sure what he's doing. I forget. But I'm sure he's having fun. Sound off in the chat when you get in here, and definitely press the like button. That's very important to the success of the show. We're going to start talking about things. We have to start talking about things. Otherwise, there's no point in the show. We have to start talking about Rampage. Let's start off with Rampage. We'll do a little Rampage talk. We could go to the Rampage screaming if you can there, Tam, if it even fits, because it might not even fit with just my big head here. If it doesn't, no worries. No worries. Thank you all so much for joining. Okay, we got the night started off with Andrade versus Phoenix with Rampage. Redley697 says sound off. Thank you so much, Redley697. I appreciate it. And says, let's talk Vince. We're going to talk Vince. Don't worry. We're talking Vince soon. I have to get through Rampage first. So Andrade versus Phoenix. Great match. Great match. Very happy with it. Andrade is not on the Forbidden Door card, which is becoming quite the political problem backstage. And so they just had a great Rampage match. Andrade versus Phoenix, a lot of fun, a lot of back and forth. I felt like they had something to prove. Really did. Then we get some dueling Three Amigos with some Eddie Guerrero talk. Then Ruche, I think it's Ruche, kicks Phoenix in the balls. And Andrade wins with his little DDT deal. But I'm curious into seeing where this goes. I'm glad that Andrade's got something going on, which is nice, positive, and I'm glad that I like Phoenix and Penta so much better as singles. Redley says, let's talk about Vince and only Vince. Very cute, Redley697. Thank you. All the money says fire, happy face, fire. I'm liking that. All the money says it's Kane. It's got to be Kane. Thank you so much, Kane. It's only me today, so I appreciate all the support. The support is important. Next up, we get an Eddie Kingston promo, the Mad King, and he's talking about how he wants to taste Jericho's Kool-Aid coward blood. That's what he referred to his blood as, and he kept saying you wanted to drink it. Very interesting stuff there. We get another promo in the back with Swerve and Lee talking about their partnership, and it's cute. Like they're having a little, tiffs, but they're winning still, and they're trying to figure out if they can be a team together. They could gel together. And I'm liking that team. I don't mind it. I still feel like there's a lot of great teams out there that deserve a little bit more attention, Ricky Starks and Hobbs, but this is good. Speaking of tag team matches, we get a women's tag match. That's just great. We got Serena Deeb, and you all know how I feel about Serena Deeb, and Mercedes Martinez tagging, and they're being like this veteran tag group that's just going to beat the shit out of young ones, and I'm liking that. I really think that's a great idea. I think it's good for Serena Deeb and Mercedes Martinez because it gives them something to do. I don't know if they have the faith in Serena Deeb that I think they should, because she could go with anyone and she's great. I think she should be in the Blackpool Combat Club. But tell me what you think about that. Would she be good in the Blackpool Combat Club? But either way, her and Mercedes Martinez beat the shit out of these two young ones. I forget their names, but they do a good job of beating the shit out of them. Next up, Tully Blanchard's back. Tully Blanchard is back. Excuse me. Tully Blanchard is back, and he's managing a bunch of Ring of Honor guys, Brian Cage, and two other guys that I don't remember because I'm not too familiar. That's what Roy's here for. Roy knows all the things that I don't, and I know all the things that Roy doesn't. See, that's why it works well. He's coming back, and he's trying to push his guys a little bit. I don't know if I like Tully Blanchard anymore. I think I'm over it. I'm definitely over it. With him with FTR, and they wore the satin jackets together. I was into that, but once FTR started to shine, I just saw the flaws in having Tully Blanchard as a manager. I don't know if he's necessarily good at it. Then we got all the monies here. I really like Andrade. What's it going to take to get a belt on Andrade? Great question. Great question. I think the Ruche, can you someone tell me if I'm saying it right? Is it Ruche or Ruche? I heard it today and forgot. But I think that's going to be very important to this. I think him having someone to bounce off of, him having someone to work with, they're going to be a great tag team, but also when someone has someone else there that they're comfortable with, they end up becoming more confident themselves. And I think that's something that will really pay dividends for Andrade, having a little bit more confidence in AEW. Let me know what you think. Kane then says, hooray for Tully. He can talk, and Cage needs a manager. Just wish his daughter, Tessa, would stay out of trouble. Yeah, you're right on that, Kane. I wish his daughter would stop talking so much. But Cage needs a manager, and it's good for that. And I don't mind him being a manager, Tully. It's just that he has a habit of taking all the attention for himself. Like he stands forefront. He's kind of like has everyone else in the background. When he's talking in backstage segments, he turns his back to the camera a lot. It's the little things, but I think he needs to work on. But with time. Next up, we got Jonathan Grisham and Lee Moriarty in the back talking about who's going to face who. By the way, sound off in the comments. Sound off in the comments. We want those comments, and we also want them likes. I see you all here, and I want those likes. But then we got Jonathan Gresham and Lee Moriarty, and they're interrupted by Tully. He must have ran real fast from his boys there. But he gets over there, and he's like, my guys are top dog, and we want to face you. And apparently there's going to be some sort of tag team match. And Tully Blanchard says, it's on, baby. It says it's on, baby, which means that, it's fighting words. But the next match we get is Hook. Hook's coming out to face a guy named TKC. And Hook, what the thing is, Hook is doing the Orange Cassidy gimmick better than Orange Cassidy. He's too cool for it. He's beyond wrestling, but he kicks ass. And that's what I like about him. He's everything. Really exciting, really believable. Let us know what your thoughts on Hook are, because I like my Hook, and he beat the shit out of this guy, which was really nice for the win, of course. But then we get Cash Wheeler versus Jeff Cobb. We don't see a lot of Cash Wheeler matches, solo matches, but he's going to face Jeff Cobb here. And Jeff Cobb is great. 2004 Olympian, very credible, very, very credible. I'm going to try and look at the camera because I don't have to look at Roy anymore. Let's see how this works. Very credible. And I love the way it works when he was, Montero, in Lucha Underground. He was really great. But I just think I would love to see him in AEW as Monster. And he's one of my favorites to come over from NJPW. But Cash, I think he needs, again, similar with Andrade, he's a little bit more confidence. I don't know if he's necessarily that confident as a solo. So I think there's points in it where he could have dug a little deeper. Jeff Cobb gets to win here, which is good because Jeff Cobb, NJPW needs some credibility. They need to win some things. So let me know what you think of that. I thought it was a good match. It wasn't as great as I was hoping it would be honest. We have some comments here. Nasty Martinez in the chat. Let's get you something. Hello. Hey, Nasty. Hook is Chad Orange Cassidy. Hook is Chad Orange Cassidy. What do you mean by that? Who's Chad? Are you trying? Is that a typo? Is that a autocorrect? Who is Chad? Let us know who Chad is. Joe writes, Hook is God alongside Danhausen. But we all agree that Hook is doing the Orange Cassidy thing better. I'm good to say that. Redley697 says Vince is a better Orange Cassidy. Very good. Very good, Redley697. Very interesting point. You little troll. I wish I had something here to give you. I'll give you one of these. What? Thank you so much for the comment, though, Redley. Nasty says, like the Virgin versus Chad meme. Like the Virgin versus Chad meme? I'm confused what that means. I don't know what the Virgin versus Chad meme is, but I appreciate what you're saying, Nasty. I'm on board, but I'm also very confused. Tony writes, LOL. Tony's in the chat. Boom, Red. Don't know about the Chad meme. Nasty says, bruh said, who's Chad? Oh, no. Am I missing something? I'll look up Chad meme. I'm just going to look up Chad meme. I'm just not going to take away from the show too much. Chad meme. Is that just the blonde guy with the curly, like the blonde guy with the Macklemore haircut and the curly Q mustache? Is that what we're talking about? Virgin versus Chad. Okay. So now let me go back to the comment. Like the Hook is Chad Orange Cassidy. Virgin versus Chad. Okay, just like I agree. Now we're on the same page, Nasty. Thank you so much. Joe writes, Hook versus Glenn Jacobs. Kill him, Hook. That's smart, Joe. I'm liking that. Tony writes, ha 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 ha. I agree. Let's all laugh. Let's all laugh together. I wish I had a laugh, but we'll do this, which is laughable. Redley says, you're out of touch, Red. Okay, we're moving on. We're moving on. We had enough of Rampage. We have to talk about the news. The Weekly Wrestle is about the news. All the money's writes, Chad memes, Chad chant, y'all. Chad memes. Oh, Kane, get out of here. We have to talk about the news. Let's go to the first slide there, Tam, when you can. Let's talk about the news, right? Because we had a big comeback this Monday night. Big comeback. A big superstar came back. Elias returns, everyone. Elias has returned to prove to Kevin Owens that Ezekiel and Elias are two different people. They're brothers. They're brothers that just enjoy being brothers. And they showed up on Raw together to prove that they're two separate people. And Kevin Owens is losing his mind. In all seriousness, I'm really liking this angle. This is one of the best things in WWE right now. I think we're all having fun, right? You could let me know. But we'll go to the serious news. I'll just skip over this. I'll glaze over this because it is news to me. Just to prove. Nasty says Chad trademark, Chad TD, or Chad TD Bank, which is a bank in New Jersey Bank, the Northeast. Thank you so much, Nasty, for that trademarking, Chad. We'll get to the serious news. Let's get to serious. Next slide there, Tam. Okay, it's Stephanie's first week at work. Stephanie McMahon has had her first full week as the CEO of the interim CEO. But we learned some things. We learned that Stephanie was not appointed interim CEO by Vince McMahon. It was appointed by a special board committee of people not Vince, not Nick Khan, and not Triple H, and not Stephanie, of course. And they basically chose Stephanie because they were the ones that didn't bury her. They liked Stephanie. So when she left, they were ones that were in support of Stephanie. Very excited to see how this plays out because I have a sneaky suspicion. Everyone's just like, oh, Vince put Stephanie in charge so he could still control things. No, someone else put Stephanie in charge. And honestly, if I know something about a McMahon, they want it done their way. I honestly feel, and there's some proof to this that we'll talk about in a second, that Stephanie is going to slowly but meticulously change this product into hers. And it starts with Triple H. Triple H has been put back into NXT Power. And it happened this week. Some people were rumbling, oh, it was planned for a while. Then why didn't it happen a while? It happened this week. Is Stephanie chose it. Now, I'm not saying the NXT logo is going to go back to the old one, but I will say that some of the hokey bullshit that they've been doing will decrease. And some of the more thoughtful wrestling will increase on the show. So we should all be happy for NXT. And give it another whirl. I want to see Triple H's new era in this NXT when he has even more potential control, right? All the money's right. Zeke and Elias for tag champs, 100%. Put them in the ring. Let's go. Let's see them because they're brothers. They're bound to be a good tag team. Joe writes, I believe that Elias is his brother if Red agrees to be mine. Red is his bother if Red agrees. No, you bother me, Joe. I agree. I'll believe that Elias is his bother if Red agrees to be mine. Yeah, you're my bother. I agree. All the money says, yes, W is beholden, so it's stockholders and the majority owners. Yeah, we'll talk about a little bit more with that. All the money says, cool news for NXT. Yes, all the monies. I agree. So I'm curious to see where this goes. But we'll go to the next slide here, Tam, because there's more news for the old WWE. Let's talk about WWE. There's 5 different law firms, 5 different law firms, and now are investigating WWE. Not only for the $3 million in question used for potential hush money for the person in question that had the affair with Vince, not only for all the NDAs that were signed that we're still trying to figure out if there was company money, how many affairs or potential assaults or any other things that have been buried, but also for insider trading because there was a lot of higher ups that sold their stock before all this came out. A lot of stock. People like, what is his name? Kevin Dunn. And I believe Vince sold some. I believe some other board members have sold as well. So take it for what it is. Take it for what it is. But it's very interesting. Very interesting. So there's a lot more people coming at the WWE trying to figure it out. Johnny Laurinaitis, has been taken away from his post as head of talent relations. And you know who they put in their stead? The Derek Jeter of head talent relations, the best talent relations person you could possibly get, Bruce Pritchard. So Bruce Pritchard has absolutely everything on his plate now. And they have placed him in charge of talent relations. Want to know why? And I think I know. I think he was placed in head of talent relations by Stephanie to make him flounder and fail and leave because she wants him gone. I don't think she likes Bruce Pritchard. I don't think a lot of people like Bruce Pritchard. Apparently, a lot of people in the back are very stoked that Stephanie is now the CEO. What it means or not, I do not think it's going to be a Vince puppet. I do not think Stephanie's going to be a Vince puppet. I think she's going to do away with a lot of the old fat. And I think it's going with Johnny Laurinaitis. I think Bruce Pritchard. And I think Vince, I'm going to say this. By the end of the year, Vince will not be in charge of WWE creative. Sound off on that. Joe writes, brother. Yeah, agree. Brother. Redley697 says, more like Kevin Dunn. Redley697 with the thoughtful comment. All the money says, holy she. Very, very interesting that the insider trading is being discussed in the light, right? Things are going down. Joe writes, anyone with breast man or women in investigating Vince now. Anyone with breasts, man or woman, is investigating Vince now. Sure, we'll just go with that. But yes, very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff, and I can't wait to see what happens. But also, just some side note here, something that Vince can be a little relieved about is that Vince is now settled his lawsuit with Oliver Luck for the XFL lawsuit for wrongful termination. And I think it's been settled. I'm sure he wanted this settled so they didn't have to go to court and for them to try and say something along the lines of, character witnesses against Vince. Show all of Vince's dirty laundry in court. He'll settle for anything right now. That guy got his $24 million. I'm telling you that much. Moving on. Next slide there, Tam. We've got to keep this rolling. This is going to be a quick Weekly Wrestle. Why? Because there has to be a back and forth, and I appreciate all the comments, and I love every single one of these comments. So keep giving them to me. But this is abbreviated. Why? Because this is what, and by the way, you all have to like this. I see it right now. I need some more likes. That keeps the fuel going into me. And show me your arms, dogs. Take some pictures and put it in the chat. Or send it to the 201-574-7222, the hotline. Redley697 says, Vince is sure to have the best paralegal. You said this last time. You did this exact same joke last time. Where's the shush?
Shush, hush, please.
None of that. We're not reusing material, Redley697. But yeah, Rhea Ripley is injured. To add to the litany of WWE injuries, wrestling community injuries, Rhea Ripley has suffered a teeth and brain injury. So it's probably a concussion, but she also has some braces put on her top teeth, and she's going to be out for a little bit. Hopefully not too long, but she has been taken out of her match at Money in the Bank, which is sad. All the Monies gave 2 thumbs up. I hope it's not for this news. I don't think it is, Kane. I think there's a delay on my end for seeing things, or your end for seeing the things that I'm talking about. I'm doing it in live time. I guess you see it with a few seconds delay. But yeah, we love Rhea Ripley, and I really am excited for Rhea Ripley to have a run with a championship soon with this new dark gimmick. Like I'm just excited for Rhea Ripley, and I feel bad that this happened. This is bad timing for a lot of wrestlers right now. But we'll have to keep on this. I'll keep on this. We have some comments here. Woodsy the Beast is in the chat. Why is Shush not Chad Gable's Shush? Isn't that Chad Gable? Shush. Shush. Hush, please. I thought that was his, but it may not be. I only have what I got, Woodsy. I don't have, I wish I could pull audio. If anyone knows how to pull audio, make a soundboard out of it, sign me up. I'd like that. But yeah, good luck, Rhea Ripley. We want you back soon. Let's continue on this injury train. Next slide there, Tam. And we have a lot of injuries to talk about. Bryan Danielson is pretty much confirmed to have had a concussion at Double or Nothing. Very not good because he has a history of concussion issues that caused him to retire for a period of time. Apparently, according to him, he's acing everything with gold marks, blue ribbons. I don't know what you say, but he's doing all the tests and he thinks he's doing well, but not enough for them to allow him to get back in the ring. So hopefully, whatever this is clears up. They're a little nervous by the fact that he's not clearing the impact testing a month after the match, almost a month after the match. He's still having some trouble. So, man, I will say this. Stop having such high impact, potentially dangerous matches back to back to back to back. Double or Nothing. He had that huge match, and now we're getting blood and guts. These things are bound to hurt people. Tony, TK, let's protect our people. There's some great, you could just have great match. You have the best wrestlers in the world. They could have one-on-one matches. They don't have to be jumping off of it. You almost put Jeff Hardy in a ladder match, you monster. You monster. Roy would get mad at me for saying this stuff. Roy would get mad at me and say, but he's not here. He's not here, and I get to say it. Who wants to come at me? That's my hammer time. Redley697 says, why am I the only one to be shushed? Yeah, you're right. You are the only one to be shushed. Maybe you should just go to the doghouse. Bye. Enjoy the doghouse, Redley697. That's where you go when your comments are getting banned. You're going to the doghouse. But yeah, I think that we have to take better care of the wrestlers. As evidenced by, next slide here, Tam, AEW's litany of injured wrestlers right now. Let's go through them. We've got Kenny Omega, of course. Lee Johnson is injured. Sky Blue is injured. Darius Martin is injured. Adam Cole is dealing with a litany of injuries that he's working through. CM Punk, of course, the champion. Buddy Matthews is recently injured. And also, NJPW match Ishii was supposed to be for the all international, what is it called? The All Atlantic title, and he is now out of the match. So we have to take better care of our wrestlers. We have to take better care of them. We don't need to see a fucking high impact, high risk matches every single week. Let's take better care of them, Tony. Nasi writes, Elroy, are you calling him a loser? Nasi writes, you're 100% right, Red. Think, Nasi, I wish I had a pizza cut, but you're going to get something. Oh, that's cute. Thank you, Nasi, for saying that's really sweet. Woodsy B says, Brian should go full technician, little to no jumping off the top rope. Yeah, but also let's not put him in a match where he's going to get hit in the head with shit. That Double or Nothing match was a lot of nonsense. It was fun towards the end, but it was a lot of nonsense. And you know what? He doesn't need that. He doesn't need that to be in that type of match because he could do anything. Let him do the things that he wants to do. All money's right. GCW, July 15th, East Hollywood. Whoop, whoop. That's my new thing. But yeah, I do want to see that GCW match. Then Kane writes, Joey Janela will be there. Oh, why would you sell me on GCW and then tell me that Joey Janela will be there? I'm not mad at Joey Janela. I just don't get the hype. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Nasi writes, not Ishii. Yep, Ishii. Ishii is injured and no longer in the match, and they replaced Ishii with some other fucking guy. I have no idea. Some cowboy. I don't know. I never heard of him. All the Money's writes, you seen that YouTube chiropractor who works on pro wrestlers? Yes, I have. And I love watching people get snapped up on TikTok and on YouTube. Love it. Love seeing them get snapped up. Love that content. But we're not done with the injuries. We got another one here. Next slide there, Tam. JR, not doing too good. So as we know, JR has been dealing with cancer and radiation treatment on his foot, like a skin cancer on his foot, and it's been a hard time for him. And we know he's been a little grumpier on commentary, but now it's becoming a problem for him to travel. So getting on planes in the pressurized cabin is causing his foot to swell, which is making it very painful for him to travel, which is really sad because I do not like hearing JR in pain. I do not like hearing JR in pain on commentary. He doesn't seem to be too happy when he's doing this stuff. So I want him to feel better. I want him to travel only when necessary. You heard? Only when necessary. And maybe he should think about changing his schedule. Yeah. Right?
Wow, you're so dominant.
We've got some. All the Monies gives a cry emoji, laugh cry emoji. Woodsy B says, so they replaced Ishii with a knockoff Adam Page. Yup. Man, I am not excited for this Forbidden Door card. I'm gonna watch the show, and I'll probably like the show. But man, did they do a shit job of promoting it, a shit job of booking it. Not a single promo package video. I want to see a video of Shida. I want to see a video of Tanahashi. Let me see videos showing their big things. They're waiting for the pay-per-view to show that? I should have saw that shit before I saw any of them live. Show me Ospreay. Show me these things. You have the footage. You're working with the company. John Busman is in the chat. Where?
Hello there.
John writes, let Taz fill in. Let Taz fill in. That's for you, John. Let Taz fill in. He wants it. Remember when Taz, Roy and I talk about this all the time. When Taz was filling in for JR when he was sick, and then it was announced, I think it was like Tony Schiavone's like, next week, JR's going to be back. And then Taz is like, who's to me? Oh, I guess I'm not going to be here next week. It was really funny. Also make sure to check out our new podcast. New podcast dropped this morning. It's the TNA Slammiversary, the Impact Wrestling Slammiversary, where we cover that. We talk all about it. It's very exciting. John writes, did you watch the countdown after Rampage last night? Pretty good. I wanted to. For some reason, it didn't tape. I really wish I did because I saw the first few minutes of it. It looked really interesting. And I wish I saw that because that's exactly what I want. That is exactly what I want. John Busman says, gotta go back to work. Gotta go back to work. Love you. Love you too, John. Go back to work. You sweet. That's me thinking of you going back to work. Thank you so much, John. I appreciate it. But yeah, hopefully, but he can't make it to the Ric Flair match potentially, which he was planning on. But speaking of the Ric Flair last match, can we go to the next slide there, Tam? Because I love this picture of Ric Flair. Ric Flair match update. So we all heard that Richard Steamboat was apparently going to be opposite Ric Flair for his last match at one point. And almost immediately after it was kind of like lightly announced, Ricky Steamboat came out to be like, whoa. I'm too old for this shit. I'm not about to go out there and have a match and have people be embarrassed by how I perform. And so he made it seem like a very personal thing reason why he did. You don't want the fans to get a ruined image of his wrestler. Kind of making fun of Ric Flair for doing the same exact thing. And what Conrad Thompson was very upset. If you remember, Conrad Thompson was saying something along the lines of like, really disappointed that Ricky talked like this because I had a lot of respect for him as a wrestler, but this really hurts, like kind of indicating that he did something dishonest. Well, it came out recently that Ricky Steamboat had a very high asking price that they couldn't meet. So instead of being like, yeah, they couldn't meet my price, he kind of buried the match, which is pretty funny of Ricky Steamboat. It's pretty funny of Ricky Steamboat, which is kind of funny. But more stuff on this Ric Flair last match. Still, FTR is not confirmed because Tony Khan has not officially allowed them to. Understandably, he doesn't want FTR to be a part of a murder because Ric Flair has said many times that even at the press conference recently, he says something along the lines of like, if I'm going to die in the ring, let me die in the ring. If that's what I got to do, I got to die in the ring. I can't do it's hard for me to do old man Ric Flair when he's like tired and sleepy. But he pretty much claimed that he wants to die in the ring. If this is his way to go, let it be. And that's pretty scary for someone like Tony Khan when he has his wrestlers in there. He doesn't want that kind of publicity. Woodsy DeBeast says he's going to die in the ring. He wants to die in the ring. 100%. We're in agreement, Woodsy DeBeast. He does want to die in the ring. Thank you so much. All the money's right. NJPW and AEW probably have some copyright red tape with footage. I don't see much of NJPW's site about Forbidden Door either, because don't they just had Dominion. Yeah, it's funny. They're not really promoting it that much, are they? Usually they don't like to promote things. I was just reading about this. I was listening to it from We're Live, Pal. I think that's the show. It's not bad. They were talking about how NJPW doesn't like to promote pay-per-views until they finish their most recent one. So I thought after Dominion, they'd be doing a hard push, but they haven't really, have they? And it's crazy. Like, I can't imagine that there's that red tape. Like, why have it in a promotional match where you're working together and you won't share your footage? That seems dumb. That seems real dumb. Unless NJPW is not happy with how it's going. And they're like pulling the brakes on how many people they want to see this. Because I think a lot of their guys are going to lose. Maybe that's the reason why. But yeah, let's think about that. Let's think about that a little bit. But Ric Flair's last match, we still don't know. I might watch it. I might watch it because there's some interesting things happening there. There's some interpromotional fights. I think Jacob Fatu versus Josh Alexander is interesting. The Wolves versus the Motor City Machine Guns is interesting. And honestly, this might be the start of Conrad Thompson's new promotion because he's treating this like last one night stand, and he keeps mentioning that. Let me know what you think. We got to keep moving on. We got some sad news. Next slide there, Tim. Tim White. Tim White has passed away. Legendary pro wrestler and handler of Andre the Giant. Has passed away at the age of, 68. Made his debut in 1985 and worked for the WWE. He's a part of legendary matches, most notably Hell in the Cell 1998 with Mick Foley and The Undertaker, Mankind and The Undertaker. Because of that match, he was my favorite ref. He was my favorite ref growing up. I remember liking Tim White because I liked the name. I liked the fact that he was in that match. And then I heard that he was friends with Andre. Man, like the dude. And he retired, semi-retired in 2002 at Judgment Day 2002 against Chris Jericho and Triple H. They had a Hell in a Cell match. He injured his arm. He came back for WrestleMania 20, where he reffed Chris Jericho versus Chris Jericho versus Christian, and he re-injured that arm, effectively retiring forever. But he had like a neighborhood bar that, the APA during those, they trashed the joint during their barroom brawls, and WWE would just pay for it. It was just nice. And everyone liked Tim White. It's really sad. This is not a picture of him at 68. This is a picture of him at probably at 40. This is like 20 years ago, 40 something. Redley 697 says he looks 60. He's not 68 there, but real sad. RIP Tim White. And right after Dave Hebner, two legendary officials have passed, which is not good news because the refs, we love our zebras, right? We love our zebras. But we're at the last news of the night. The last news of the night, and it is a discussion piece. And I want your thoughts. Booker T. Next slide there, Tim. Booker T's in a little hot water right now. And this is a GIF. I hope I sent it to you properly. If not, no worries, Tim. Booker T has made mention on his podcast criticizing Adam Cole for his lack of size. Criticizing Adam Cole for his lack of size, which is he's being attacked, or not attacked, but like he's facing some repercussions. I hope everyone likes that Booker T GIF for body shaming Adam Cole. And I do feel that the language he used was a little body shaming, but I will admit I've been a little guilty of criticizing Adam Cole for his size as well. And I'd like to clarify some things. I want to clear my name. I don't think it's right to make fun of someone for how they look physically. I do feel that if you're going to cast someone as the Hulk, they should be of a large stature. If you're going to cast someone as Stuart Little, they shouldn't be John Goodman. You wouldn't do that. Adam Cole is presented as a main event guy in positions where he's facing much larger people. I'm not saying he shouldn't have those matches. I'm not saying he shouldn't win championships and be the top of the game, but they're positioning him like someone that like he's positioning himself as a small, like Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio is a smaller guy. He wrestles differently to face these bigger guys. Him having a match against Samoa Joe in a tit for tat match where they're both throwing strikes and they're both pretty even does not make sense. And I think that I'm not trying to talk for Booker T because, screw him. I don't know him. He could be a real piece of shit for all I know. He's pretty funny in wrestling. I always liked him in wrestling, but I'd never listened to his podcast. So I'm not sure what bullshit he's saying. But I don't think Adam Cole is booked right in that position. I think that he should wrestle differently for his size, just as much as I think Brian Cage should wrestle differently for his size. I think everyone should wrestle towards who they are. Be you. Redley697 says Booker T can say it. Hugh Jackman was Wolverine and he was 6'4". Hugh Jackman's not 6'4". What are you trying to say? Are you trying to say Hugh Jackman's 6'4"? Hugh Jackman's like 5'10". We're looking this up right now. Hugh Jackman height. 6'2"? Shit. Well, he's 6'2". He's not 6'4". And yeah, he should be 5'5". He's gonna play Wolverine. All the money's right. And you know who was originally gonna play Wolverine in the 1980s? Bob Hoskins. Take that in your pipe and smoke it. All the money says these old steroid guys from the past just can accept from what a healthy man looks like. I agree. I agree that they are too in their big man should be at the top thing, and I don't agree with that. I want my Bryan Danielsons. I want my Rey Mysterios. I want my Adam Coles, but they have to wrestle differently. Anyone want to talk about that? Exactly. Thank you so much. Well, we're done with the news. We're done with the news. Come yell at me in the chat. I would love for you to yell at me in the chat for telling me that I'm a shit talker. I'm not a shit talker. Shit believer. But we have to talk about the Loser Leagues Wrestling Hall of Fame class of June 25th. It's going to be a small Hall of Fame with single inductee. One single inductee into this year's Hall of Fame. Why? Because I'm the only one here. And so I'm going to induct. And this person has been wrestling for decades. And he had a long lapse in 2010s. For health reasons, he had to stop. He had to stop wrestling. But he came back. And, he hasn't had the greatest comeback. I wouldn't say he's had the greatest comeback, personally speaking, up until this past week. When he came out and did what he was supposed to do this entire time, he beat up Jungle Boy. And then what he did is he got on the mic and talked about it. And sure, it was a little long-winded and a little rambly and a little repetitive. But wanna what? It got heat. It was exciting. They're giving something to Jungle Boy, and they're giving him Christian. The Loser Leagues Wrestling class of June 25th, Hall of Fame. I'm inducting Christian Cage. Christian Cage. Where's my shit? Oh, no, this is the one. Everyone give it up for Christian Cage. Wow. What a time we've had today. What a time we've had. What fun we had. Rambling about the wrestling business, talking news, being friends. Just being friends. Right?
I like turtles.
I do too. Want to let everyone please follow Loser Leagues Wrestling everywhere. Check out the Patreon if you're so inclined. We love the support. Check out all the things you want to check out. Check out the podcast. We have a new podcast. Came out today about TNA and Impact. So definitely check it out. Kane says, yay, I nominate Red for HOF. Great show, Red. Don't talk about that. I can't be in the HOF. Redley696 said, I had fun. Oh, you rascal. Thank you so much. Everyone, please follow us on all things. Check out YouTube every Wednesday and Saturday. Check out our Twitch when we do it. But follow us on Twitch anyway. If you see more people going on our Twitch and and following us and subscribing, we'll go on it more. I have to really push Roy into it. Really got to push Roy into it. We all have to push Roy into it. But thank you all so much. I hope you all have a great night. Bye-bye. Well, let's get a real fun thing. Let's get a thing to close out. Bear with me.
What? What?
Cut it. Sorry.
Olay.